Well, Darren, we've done a little bit of work on the technical side, and hopefully we're going to get you to the green a little bit more consistently. But on the odd occasion, when you do miss the green, you're going to have to get the ball up and down. And you've mentioned that almost by default, your short game has improved quite a lot. Is that right?
Yeah, I've become a hell of a chipper that even pros are proud of. Because that is how I've had to survive to get scores of 83, 84.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. Well, we've got Jay, MD of Golfers Club and our resident club expert, along with us today. And it's very important that we get club selection right as far as, you know, the loft and lie. So you take over, Jay, and talk us through.
Well, you know, Darren, I mean, I can't give you too much of a hard time. You know, you shop with us, so I mean, whatever you've got in your bag, I can't really criticize. I'm just looking at your lob wedge, which is an old, let me have a look at that thing. An old Mizuno Black Ox, which was a classic wedge in its day. The only problem with this type of wedge, and I mean, you've obviously managed to master it, is it's got particularly low bounce. Now, when you're playing, you know, at the coast where the fairways are a bit finer, that's great. But when you're playing on Kikuyu fairways like this, when it gets after a bit of rain and it's very lush, there's a tendency to possibly dig with something like this. So,
well, that's why with that, I don't even chip with that. I chip with the sandwich. That's purely for bunker because I've actually found that exact thing happening.
Exactly. So now you've got a set of MX100 Mizunos there, which are a great set of irons, oversized, nice wide sole. You can see the massive differences here in the size of sole. There's also a bit more bounce. You can see how cambered that is. So what happens is when it hits the Kikuyu, it bounces out of the Kikuyu. That's why you're chipping so nicely with it. But I've brought a couple of real goodies here. I brought the new Titleist Vokey range and the new Callaway Mac Daddies. Let me just run through these Vokeys quickly for you. The old SM4, Don, was one of the best wedges they ever made. And now the SM5, which stands for Spin Milled 5, comes in 3 different finishes. You get the gold nickel, the black raw, and the tour chrome that you got in your hand over there. The thing I love about this, depending on where you play, Darren, if you're going to play a course where it's very tight, or you're going to play a course where it's absolutely gooey, you know, like we're looking at here at Huddle at the moment, the grass is lush, there's a lot of moisture underfoot. You need to go with something a bit more bounce. So they've managed to produce 4 different bounce options and 4 different sole grinds. You get the F grind, which is for the fairway, and the S and the M, which is for the thing, and then you get the L for the low bounce. The clever thing about these wedges is that in the 48 through to 54, the grooves are narrower and deeper. So when you're getting a shot out of the rough, when the club goes into the turf, it eliminates all the debris between the ball and the club, and it doesn't overspin it. So what happens is you're not hitting gap wedges, pitching it at the flag and bringing it off the front of the green. You don't want that, okay? The other smart thing is, so from the 56 degree all the way to the 62, they've made the radius of the wedge on the edges much deeper than the previous wedges. So what happens now is when you need to stop a shot, when you're coming over a bunker or over an obstacle, the ball's going to check up much quicker. So you choose, the thing I love about it is you can choose your bounce, and you can see the various bounces on this thing, how they've chamfered that. That's slightly wider than this one, and this one's got a little bit of camber to it. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to ask you to have a shot with a Vokey. Choose one of, have a look here.
What is the closest to a sandwich?
There we go. Let's go with the black raw. Let's give that a shot. Okay, then, you know, as avid golf watchers, I mean, we all watched last year's Phil Mickelson won the British Open, and the week before he beat our very own Brandon Grace in the Scottish Open. During that playoff, he hit that incredible shot when he was lying in the bottom of that grassy dune, and he pitched it past the flag and he spun it. Do you remember that? It was the most amazing shot. And I don't think he would have been able to do it without the new Mac Daddy wedges. As you know, there's been massive governance with the depth and the width of the grooves. So the RNA and the USGA have made a big hoo-ha about it. The guys were getting too much spin. They're bombing their drives 350 meters and then hitting it out of the rough and stopping it near the flags. So the wedge companies are under pressure all the time to try and make the grooves as deep and as wide as possible, and Mac Daddy have done that. They've done that by widening the grooves to the maximum limit and also the depth of the grooves, but they've also put this milling they've put on the top of the wedge. Now it does 2 things. On the black model, it actually starts rusting when it wears away, and on the gold model, they made it much harder in tungsten, so it actually spins the ball more often. So guys, you know, when your old Black Ox wedge, which is not spinning the ball anymore, after many years of use, the Mac Daddy will continue to spin the ball.
Okay.
They've also got 2 different sole grinds. They've got the C grind and the S grind. S grind is standard. The C grind, you can see how it looks like a C over here.
Yeah.
What that does is when you put the wedge down, you'll notice that when the guys tend to open the blade, a lot of the times the heel will face the ball. Now when you put this down, it sits nicely into the ground. I think, you know, a guy like Roger Cleveland, who does the designing for Callaway, has done an incredible job, and I think, you know, either one of these will be great for you, Darren.
Beautiful.
Geez, it's on the flag.
Beautiful. Just as you were saying.
Hey,
Chipping's good.
look at that. Did you get that on camera?
Absolute.
I told you I was good at chipping.
Jeepers.
Very nice. Look at this.
Jeez.
Right, Darren, tell me what you thought about those wedges.
Okay, well, as you can see by the shots,
Unbelievable.
I've mastered them.
Yeah.
But at first, when I put this down, the Vokey, this looked a bit more like, oh, this is going to be difficult to hit.
A player's club.
Yeah, but it does frame the ball nicely with the black and the white. You can see exactly where the ball's sitting.
And then the Mac Daddy?
When I put this down, I was like, oh, this just looks good. It feels a bit more forgiving, just on the look and the way the whole thing's designed.
Slightly bigger head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And for me, that's what I need because I'm never puring it. But if you have a look at these,
Right in the center, listen.
both of them.
I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, this one's got a mark right in the center. This one's got a mark right in the center. I mean, Don's right. He says, obviously, you know, your short game is unbelievable. We've got to work on maybe hitting a few more greens now.
Yeah.
Right, Darren, we're back on the 14th tee here now at Huddle Park. It's a great par 4. You've had some fundamental tips now from my dad, and just using the new Dell Windows tablet here, it's an absolutely fantastic tool, but especially in this sort of scenario here, if we look at the footage that we got of you when you were working with my dad now, first of all, we need to pay attention to the alignment, especially on a hole like this where, you know, position off the tee is going to make the approach to the green. So we really got to look at it. And as you can see there, the shoulders aiming a little bit to the left and the feet to the right. We know all the technical stuff, but
I've never seen it like this from this point of view.
and that's what really tells the story. And I think the thing for me now, especially with a longer club being the driver, we want to pay attention to your head movement off the ball when you make the backswing. This is the time where you picture Louis Oosthuizen or Ernie Els, especially off the tee. So if we can limit that head movement, I reckon we're going to put a good strike on it. So let's set it up now, probably 5 yards right of the bunker as we see over our shoulder here, and let the ball just go with the natural lie of the land, and we should have a pretty good approach shot to the green.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Take it away. Oh my goodness.
Damn!
Oh my goodness.
Please tell me you got that on camera.
What a beauty.
That is a lifetime achievement award for me, that.
Right, let's go and hit the green and try and make a putt. Shot.
Wow!
Beautiful
Wow.
effort. Beautiful effort. Take 5 of those. Well done.
Yep.
Fantastic pace.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a birdie!
Well done. Well done. Beautiful birdie. In this week's Echelon, Did You See That Moment, we take a look back at the 1995 British Open at St Andrews, where the Italian golfing sensation Constantino Rocca came to the 18th hole needing a birdie to tie the flamboyant John Daly. He flubbed his pitch shot, where the ball ended up in the dreaded Valley of Sin. He now needed to hole a 65-foot putt across the green to get into the playoff, which he did. He went on to lose the playoff with John Daly, but this will undoubtedly go down as one of the great moments of golf.